Hey,
What's up?
he keeps disappearing out of our feed. We're joining Scott Lang in San Francisco as we give you our 2 cents on Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Yeah, we are.
Check out our new shirts. We were wearing them at the theaters, but you couldn't see it because it
It
was
was really cold that day. It
it was
was so
really cold.
windy.
But we're actually going to give you a really quick review today of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and we hope that Marvel Studios doesn't get mad at us. But
Well, they should be mad
it should
at
be
themselves.
pretty much.
We will discuss.
So to give you just straightforward information, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. But the Brohood Productions approval,
Okay,
Patrick.
sorry.
We usually give you an A-OK, it's entertaining, or it's no good. I think this is actually our first entertaining.
I mean, we're pretty close to the no
Yeah,
good.
it's actually, well, it's entertaining. My overall rating, because I was being nice, I gave it a 5, my personal rating.
I give it a 4.
It's pretty much around there. It was not as good as the first Ant-Man,
5 out of 10. 4 out of 10, just so the audience
just so
understands.
everyone says not 5 stars or 4 stars. 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10. It wasn't as good as the first Ant-Man. I didn't really like the second Ant-Man, but it was better. I love Ant-Man, the character, Scott Lang. Paul Rudd does an amazing job. I understand that this is more of like setting up the future, but just like another really good uh, fan critic says,
Well, let me say they didn't do a good job of setting up the future.
JP
Keep
was
going.
not very happy about this movie. But we came to a really big consensus for our cinema score. That's how we're going to kind of give you our review today, is basically base everything off of our cinema score. So our 5 categories are, we don't have them in
Story
order:
plot.
the story and the plot, the villain, the
Hero.
flow, the hero, and the acting.
So, story and plot, 4 out of 10 because it sucked. It was bad.
It was
Well, let's go on flow. Now, let me talk. I want to talk about flow. Flow, we give it a 3. Number 1,
you got to be in the screen to give them your ideas.
very disappointing how they introduced Kang. Like, we get a flashback of Janet Van Dyne. Am I correct?
Janet, let's just call her Janet.
Janet.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer. We get a flashback when she was in the quantum realm. And the ship crash lands. Okay, crash lands. And then we have these weird animals from the quantum realm trying to go after him. Oh, yeah, I was about to get that part. And so Janet saves Kang, and Kang is like, well, no. I guess it goes both ways. Janet saved Kang, and then in the end, Kang saved Janet. And at the end, he takes a shot to save her, and he goes, "What is this place?" And that's it. Bam! It cuts, and we go into how Ant-Man is doing after Endgame. Horrible. Like, we don't even get that scene. Doesn't even more explanation of that scene doesn't happen until maybe halfway through the movie, right?
Barely, I mean, they explain it halfway through the movie, and then they try to give you how she remembered what she saw, but they don't even give us anything of what she saw.
So number 1, when you introduce a BA villain,
Like
this
our
is
one of our favorites, Kang the Conqueror.
Kang. That's all we get. We get. What is this place? 4 words
What did
Kang.
you see?
Hmm?
Later when she touches his brain or something. And what did you see?
See, what she saw should have been at the beginning of the movie. I think so, anyways. And so, okay, so number one, where after that, I think that was just a bad scene just to cut into how Ant-Man's been doing in his life, and he's doing really well. I mean, people confuse him for Spider-Man.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
There you go. And then we get a and then we're just kind of like jumped into the fact that him and his daughter are having
Daddy-daughter issues.
daddy-daughter issues, and he has to go pick her up from the
Prison,
and that's
jail.
not the first time. And then all of a sudden we see this dynamic of
I've never had a normal life, Dad.
yeah, I wouldn't say anything like that. But so then all of a sudden everybody knows what his daughter's been up to except for him. And okay, number one, his daughter believes that Ant-Man is not doing anything with his life anymore, which maybe in their sphere of the family, like that was a hard thing for him to swallow. But I just think it, sometimes people need to take a rest. There's nothing. The Avengers eventually. I can't move my hands
He gets
when I
blipped.
talk anymore. I
He
get
gets
blipped.
flipped.
Avengers are only there when real world problems happen. Like just because some homeless people were being evicted from some park, I can't even remember. Ant-Man doesn't have to step into that. So that's my feeling on that. So I'm giving you a quick rundown of the movie because this is literally all it was. So then
They get sucked into the quantum realm.
They get sucked in the quantum realm. And then very bizarre.
Weird stuff.
Very weird. I'm like in my head I was thinking, oh well maybe when everybody saw Star Wars the first time it was very weird, but this is weird. And you have this weird creature who doesn't have holes
We
and
don't have to worry about that guy.
so we'll just skip over that.
Drink the ooze.
There you go. And then you like understand. I don't know. So then we're kind of it's just like fast. It's like, okay, what happened down here, Janet? And she won't say. And then we're meeting all these people
that know her.
And there's a rebellion because everybody hates Kang because the Conqueror. So everybody keeps saying the Conqueror.
They keep like teasing him, but we don't get anything about him.
Yep. And then we see a bunch of his technology. Do your magic stuff, bro. Okay, there we go. So we're seeing like his advanced technology, whatever, and everybody's starting to understand. Oh, let me mention that they got separated. Ant-Man and his daughter are together, and they get captured by Kang. And the most disgusting piece of the entire movie, MODOK.
We don't have to talk about MODOK.
So then everybody else, Hope, Pym, Hank, and Janet are together. And so Kang gets to talk to Ant-Man first. And this is what I like. This is one of the few things I liked is Ant-Man understands he's out of his league. And Kang has these powers and makes him how do you explain that? Like he pushes him to the wall and he's like trying to crush him. That's the word. And I thought that was pretty cool because that really shows his power. We never really got to see his power. We saw his anger. And I was so deceived because I saw this interview with the top actors and he says King is like, yeah, we're King is on par. Jonathan Major says King is on par with Thanos, and we're gonna understand why he is the way he is. We didn't get any of that. Nothing. All we get is that he was exiled, right? That was it. That was it. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really angry. But anyhow, we don't understand. We can see he's angry, and something was taken from him, and you're like, I feel like we got more of Kang in Loki. We kind of understood. Kang was explaining himself, and he says, and I love his quote. He's like, "This is a young man's game," like this, and so he kind of says that in this movie too. And you really like don't understand, do you, man? um, and we just don't get that. He's just angry that something was taken from him, and all this stuff. And then so
Just to interject here. So JP is talking about flow. Flow is very important to JP when it comes to how the movie progresses, how the
uh-huh.
story fits.
Yeah, yeah.
So we gave flow and the story a 4 and a 3. Just so you guys know, we did give the villain a 9. That's the best score we gave because Jonathan Majors does, that's his name, right? I keep saying his
Yeah.
name wrong. Did an amazing job as Kang. There was a little bit of a letdown when it comes to Kang in different scenes, but Kang himself was a 9. Just so
Yeah,
you know that.
King himself.
Yeah.
So then uh King is like, I'm gonna make you do something, and Edmund's like, how are you gonna make me? Because obviously his daughter, he doesn't want his daughter to die. And he's like, you're gonna go down there and fix what Janet did and get my what's this thing called?
I don't know what
It's
it's called. I call it the space orb.
some space orb that powers his ship. So he has to go down there. And so all of a sudden, Ant-Man becomes many versions of himself. He's seeing
Probability storm.
a probability storm. So I got a little like nerded out because I'm like, I know statistics, yeah, probability. But still, it's very odd. And then, I mean, there's humor in it. It's Ant-Man, so it's funny. Like I think they compensated the patheticness of the story and the flow for the jokes. So he gets the orb, he shrinks it to normal size, and it's fine. And then Janet eventually catches up. Um, and she's like, don't give him that orb or whatever.
He takes the
King
orb.
King takes the orb anyway.
They learn a little bit more about Kang. There's a big battle sequence, and what's her name? Cassie has 10 minutes of shining, I guess.
Yeah, she gives this great speech to the rebellion, and everybody fights. And then there's this moment where King is like,
We think
I
we're going to see Kang be awesome.
we think, and he's like, um, how does he describe it? He's like, I've been through many
I've been through everything. He basically says, I've been through everything. I've been through battles. I've just, he's killed Avengers. He's a conqueror. And all Ant-Man does is play with ants, something like that.
yeah. And so
And
they
then,
have a big fight scene.
yeah,
That's pretty boss. I think Kang was still cool even without his tech and his armor or whatever.
but the irony is ants beat Kang.
Yeah. So Hank developed these like
Super ants.
super ants, and then they went through like a different like universe, and they just evolved for many years, and they came and saved the day because it all like lined up the moment that they needed to fight King. Um, they just were there. So and then like they have a big fight, and Ant-Man stops. He throws the orb at um Ant-Man, or I mean at King, and he throws the thing that enlarges it, and he gets like sucked into someone.
We didn't see a body, so we're hoping that this Kang is going to come back and make everybody mad and be awesome.
Hopefully. And so then they get out of the quantum realm because Cassie's smart, and
He's really smart now.
Yeah.
She's super smart.
Yes. And
Don't mind me. I want my daughter to be that smart, but they're basically saying a 15-year-old knows everything about the quantum realm.
Iron Man is like the Iron Man and the Hulk were pretty strong. But anyhow, that was a cool scene in Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. But anyhow, that's a side story. But anyhow, we cut to they get out, it's happy, and we're in Scott's head again, and he's like, "Did we really save the day?" He's like, "I'm having an anxiety attack or a panic attack." Like he said, if we don't stop him, there would be more of me. And so he's like, oh, everything will be okay. And so then that's basically the end of the movie. And then we cut to the middle scene, and we see the Council of Kang and a lot of Kangs. That was the kind of funny part, but that wasn't like scary. Like I wasn't scared. Like until we get to the very end credit scene where it's Morbius and
Morbius.
Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. Owen Wilson
And Loki.
at the end, Owen's like, this guy's not a bad guy. You was made out of him to be like super scared. And Loki's like, he is. He really is. And you see like this like Frederick Douglass Kang. But I love what he says. He says, time is not what we think it is. Help me out here.
I think that's perfect.
I think it says we can actually shape it, he says. So that was it. That was the whole movie. I mean, it absolutely sucked. But yeah, like I almost said, we get the villain of 9. Acting was okay. We gave it a 6. We came to a consensus. And then a hero 7. I think I'm just being nice. Scott was.
See, here's the thing. I understand that they're trying to use a word that JP would like to use, trying to build for our next phase, but everything seems rushed. There's no connection. There is no, what's the right word? I like what this other movie critic says. There is no Marvel magic. You go into the theater to a Marvel movie in Golden Age Marvel, and you walk out feeling the Marvel magic. So you give us this character, Kang the Conqueror, who's supposed to be the next big bad of this saga, and we get what we get in Ant-Man and Wasp in the Quantumania. And that gives the character no justice, no honor, no redemption. That yeah, you basically are hearing us say that this was not a very good movie, and that's exactly what it is. But taking the pieces that Marvel's trying to get at us is okay. Ant-Man is an important character. Yes, good. We need Scott Lang. Let's stop making him like a sidekick or whatever. Fine, that's totally fine. Kang the Conqueror, one of the best villains in the entire Marvel lore and encyclopedia of awesome. But all we get is this character in a movie that does really cool things, and then he disappears.
You know what I'm thinking?
What do you think?
I'm thinking right now that Marvel did this on purpose.
Why do you say that?
So that they can just like, our expectations are like down here.
That'd be messed up for everybody involved in the
Sorry,
movie.
I cut you off.
No, I think JP's onto something because we're going to get Loki season 2 this year. Okay, we're going to get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Okay, so we need, as a community of fans, to hope that Marvel is thinking about things correctly.
I believe in Kevin Feige.
We believe in Kevin.
I strongly believe he knows what he's doing. So maybe it was on purpose why this movie sucked.
Maybe. So overall, the cinema score, as JP calculated in his awesome nerd brain,
58%.
58%. So take
You
that.
failed. You really
Failed.
failed. Like,
Take that as you may. We're hoping that Guardians Volume 3 and Loki Season 2 get us more excited about the future of Marvel.
bro,